Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We have a new comic book review for you guys here today. And as you can see, we have a little bit of a new title, Buckethead Book Reviews, under my new, name change and all that good jazz, for the DadaLorian. There's a few things that will fall, in line with that. So, of course, you're still going to have your Power Ranger comic book reviews that'll be, within that title. But, of course, now you've got Star Wars. And now, we'll also be talking about the Star Wars books, with the comics. So, yeah, very, very excited this will be the first Star Wars comic book review on this channel, so I'm very, very excited. So without further ado, let's get into it. Today we are reviewing issue number 4, Star Wars: The High Republic. I will tell you guys, I have not read, or more so, I can't say, that I've covered issue 1 through 3, on this channel. So, I will be talking about the books a little bit before we jump into the, actual comic, just to give a little clarification on things that, I've, read, things that I know of, as we jump into issue number 4. So now let's talk about the books. As far as the novels, what I've read is, the 2 that have been released thus far, and that's The Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule, and then Into the Dark by Claudia Gray. Both fantastic authors. Heard their names and seen their names tossed around a lot, within the Star Wars community. So it was really cool to be able to read some stuff from them, jumping into this new phase of Star Wars. So now we are ready to jump into this comic, and let's talk about what's happening in the beginning. A derelict Hutt ship, a Nile incursion, missing colonists. The Starlight Jedi's hunt for the answers leads them into a deadly trap set by the monstrous Dringir. Cut off from aid, Jedi Keeve Trennis, Marshal Avar Kriss, and Jedi Sarret must face this terrifying threat alone. But the Dringir now controls Jedi Master Sskeer, the first target for the Dringir's dark harvest, his former apprentice, Keeve. So in the start of this comic, we get a flashback to a few years prior to basically like a training exercise between Jedi Master Sskeer and the apprentice Keeve. And what stood out to me is what Jedi Master Sskeer said, in the scene, which actually, plays and comes full circle later on in this comic. And what Jedi Master Sskeer says is this: there are no shortcuts on light's path. We strive, we repeat, we succeed. And we'll touch on this moment again later. Now in present time, let's talk about the Dringir. The Dringir are these plant-like monstrous creatures that drain the life away out of any other life forms. Jedi Master Sskeer is in conflict because he is being controlled by the Dringir, almost in a symbiotic way. Also on Starlight Beacon, there's a handful of folks dealing with a hatched Dringir on board. So in every corner, the Jedi are ruthlessly being tested. Flashing back to the Jedi on Sedri Minor, the galactic frontier, it seems the Dringir are soon to take over the remaining Jedi, and Padawan Keeve pleads with her master Sskeer to remember his teachings and the power of the Force, when in reality, Sskeer was manipulating the Dringir to understand their weakness, almost risking his own stability. However, just in the nick of time, Jedi Master Sskeer broke free of the control and rescues his friends. The Jedi still have yet to rescue a young boy who is being held captive by the monsters, while confronting a local who possibly knew what trouble was coming to them but did not give the Jedi any warning. In the end of this comic, we're introduced to the Hutt cartel, which seems like things will only heat up even further going into issue number 5. Now, what stood out to me in this issue were a few things. Number 1, I would have to say the Star Wars timeline. Just looking at, where things take place, in time, in the, Star Wars universe, especially with Bad Batch coming up and then seeing, Solo, a Star Wars story right next to that. It makes me wonder, like, in that show, will we see little cameos of, certain people? So, I don't know, that just stood out to me. We also get a glimpse of what looks like dark side users who had some business years / centuries ago with the Dringir. So I thought that was really interesting, dropping those little Easter eggs of, like those who were a part of the dark side earlier on, during this time and even, before, the time of the High Republic. Another thing that stood out to me was Jedi Master Sskeer's arm. He seems to be connected to the Dringir, and they are connected to him, and it seems like it's a permanent thing. So I wonder what they're going to do, going forward with that. Like, how has he changed, and could he still possibly be manipulated going further? So what happens next? We're probably going to see more of the Hut Cartel. I also wonder if this will deal with Spice Runners and more elements of the Outer Rim. So, I'm excited to see, what's going to come in these next few issues. It's going to be crazy. Guys, if you like this video, be sure to thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We got video content coming out all the time. And if you are on the TikTok, be sure to follow me there. I post a lot and go live often. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next review. Peace.